What's up guys, welcome back to another video on Pure Panorama. My goal for tonight was to try and get home early enough to where we could rip the HX35 turbo off the 24 valve and hopefully maybe try to get it gutted, get it rebuilt, and then reinstall it before the night was over. Unfortunately, I got out of work later than I thought I was going to be able to, and then also forgot to grab a small air compressor to bring home that I could set for getting the wastegate on and off the HX35. So my plans for getting the HX35 off the truck and rebuilding it and then reinstalling it tonight so that we are good to go tomorrow is not gonna happen. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to get by for one more day. I will try to hopefully be able to get this done tomorrow. I'm gonna see if I can't sneak out of work a little bit early, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, so that I can get back and have plenty of time to let the Cummins cool down so I can get in there without burning myself, working with the exhaust and everything. I definitely want the truck to be colder, and then that will give me the opportunity to hopefully remember to grab a small air compressor from work so that I can use that to blow some air up through the boost hose on the wastegate actuator and release the tension on it so that I can get it off of the wastegate arm on the back of the exhaust housing. So I guess for tonight's video, since we are gonna have a little change of direction, let's go over the HX35 turbo rebuild kit that I just got in the mail. And I did order this rebuild kit from Austin at Turbo Lab of America, so I didn't go with Diesel Auto Power again. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too impressed with the HX35 rebuild kit from Diesel Auto Power, and I'll explain why once we start going over the rebuild kit that I got from Turbo Lab of America. You'll be able to see why right from the start if you guys watched my HX35 rebuild video and saw the kit that I used. Then once I show you this rebuild kit that I just got in the mail from Turbo Lab, you will probably instantly see why the kit from Turbo Lab is far superior to that of the Diesel Auto Power kit. I will say that our HX35 is definitely, okay, she's a little warm now that the heat is starting to radiate off the exhaust manifold and up through the compressor housing and stuff. That is exactly why I would not probably have enough time to get this done tonight. By the time I'd be able to get all this disconnected, get the oil feed off, pop the 4 bolts on the manifold, get it separated from the downpipe and all that, it'd be an hour and a half from now, and then I would literally have like an hour's time to be able to gut the thing, put all the internals back into it, the new journal bearings, get it back on the truck. I would just run out of daylight and I'd be working on it tomorrow morning trying to get the truck up and running to get to work. So that's just not ideal. I do need to be able to get out of work a little earlier than I did tonight. But I will say I do think we are getting better oil supply up to the HX35 now after doing the fresh oil change on the truck. So I should have did that before I even installed this turbo, but I was impatient and wanted to get the HX35 on the truck. But we are certainly good to go now with fresh oil in the engine. So as soon as we get this thing rebuilt again with the fresh rebuild kit, it'll be getting supplied with good clean oil right from the start. Here is our rebuild kit that we got from Turbo Lab of America, and right from the start you guys can probably already tell that there are far more pieces in this rebuild kit than there was in the rebuild kit that I got from Diesel Auto Power. The HX35 rebuild kit that I got from Diesel Auto Power came with our journal bearings, all this stuff. We got our new snap rings to let the journal bearings ride on those down inside the cartridge. We did get a new 12-point nut. We got all this stuff here. What we didn't get was a new thrust collar. We didn't get a new oil seal plate like we did with the Turbo Lab rebuild kit. They also send out this larger O-ring right here, which is for the compressor housing, but where it meets the cartridge and the compressor plate. But in order to utilize that O-ring, we would have to have some machine work done and have a groove cut out. So we won't be using that O-ring, but we definitely will hold on to it because we may have something coming in the near future to where we can utilize that, or at least have it for a spare. But in this kit, yes, you do get your oil deflector, and you also get a brand new heat shield for the turbine to ride on. So I guess I like this kit far more than the Diesel Auto Power rebuild kit. A, because it was $5 cheaper, and B, because you're getting all these new parts to basically put all new parts in the center cartridge and in the bearing housing and not have to reuse any of the old parts that could be compromised or just worn out and tired. They don't have to go back in the bearing housing, so you're getting to put all brand new fresh stuff in there. And in my mind, if you're rebuilding something, it should be getting all brand new parts. So I don't know why the Diesel Auto Power rebuild kit was so lacking on the parts side of things, but this one from Turbo Lab of America is definitely a 2 thumbs up kit from the looks of it. I guess we will see how it performs and go from there once we get everything installed and we get to put it to the test. What I'm gonna do though, since we aren't gonna be getting into the HX35 rebuild tonight, I'm gonna go and pull out the old parts that I pulled out of it and just kind of match things up and make sure that everything seems to be matched up and identical, so that I know 100% that we're in the clear to move forward with this, hopefully tomorrow. If we don't get to it tomorrow, we definitely will dive into it Friday night. If for whatever reason I can't get out of work tomorrow early enough to get home and try to get this done, then Friday night we will start to tear it all apart and get it done. And worst case scenario, I'll have Saturday morning that I won't have to go into work and we can finish it up then, and then take the truck for a good test rip. So here's the two kits side by side. Now the parts that are in this Diesel Auto Power rebuild kit are obviously the old parts that I took out of the HX35 when I rebuilt it with this rebuild kit here. But basically what you see in here is what I got. And look at all the extra stuff you get with the Turbo Lab rebuild kit. You just get far more stuff to where, like I said, you can replace everything in the bearing housing and make sure that it's all brand new and fresh, and that you don't have to reuse any of the old parts that have already been beat on, whooped, worn out for however long. And that's honestly, that's the way to go. I looked at this kit originally, but my loyalness to Diesel Auto Power, for whatever reason, I went with them. I ordered from them, but I should have just ordered this Turbo Lab rebuild kit from the start and used that the first time. But I really can't say enough that how impressed I am with this Turbo Lab of America rebuild kit just from looking at it and all the stuff you get with it. Just the fact that we're getting this new seal plate, the new thrust collar, all that stuff, and just even the thrust washer. Look at this thing. So we'll get better oiling out of this thing. Look at this old one, but we got the extra hole punched in it right here, so we should be in good business here with this Turbo Lab rebuild kit. But everything looks to match up. The journal bearings look to be the same size there, so it looks like we are in good shape and we should be good to go. I also want to point out the difference in these journal bearings. If you look at the thickness of them, the one on the right is a lot thinner than the one on the left that came in the Turbo Lab rebuild kit. So in this Turbo Lab HX35 rebuild kit, these parts are just upgraded and of better quality, so hopefully they can take a little bit more abuse, boost pressures, and just hold up better and last longer. I'll be real curious to see and compare the parts from the Diesel Auto Power HX35 rebuild kit to the Turbo Lab one once we start pulling those parts out of the HX35. Before we put the Turbo Lab parts in, we definitely will do a little side by side and see how they both match up to one another and see ultimately who has the superior rebuild kit. But if I had to guess, I'm gonna go with Turbo Lab of America, because so far, I mean, just look at it. So there you guys go. You can see that that HX35 rebuild kit from Turbo Lab of America far exceeds the rebuild kit that I got from Diesel Auto Power, and the lack of parts in that rebuild kit from Diesel Auto Power. I am just thrilled that we have a new heat shield, thrust collar, all that stuff to replace in the center cartridge of the HX35 Turbo now. And I should have just ordered this kit from the start so that we could put all those new parts in the first time around. My apologies that I wasn't able to get to tearing the turbo off the truck tonight and getting it rebuilt and doing another rebuild video for you guys on it, but we will get to it hopefully tomorrow, if not Friday night. I may honestly just wait until Friday night to actually do the rebuild on it so that I don't feel rushed through it, and we can just make sure that everything is good and the way that it should be, and we'll come up with another video idea for you guys tomorrow. But at least I was able to share that rebuild kit with you guys and kind of go in depth of what you get, show you what you get up close, and basically compare it already to the Diesel Auto Power rebuild kit. And like I mentioned, once we pull the actual parts that I got from Diesel Auto Power out of the HX35, before we install the Turbo Lab parts, we will compare them up close and just see if they match up, or if the Turbo Lab parts seem to be better quality. Like I showed you, the original journal bearings are much thinner than the journal bearings that I got from Turbo Lab, so I'm curious to see if the journal bearings from Diesel Auto Power, being a genuine whole set rebuild kit, I'm curious to see if those are actually thinner than the Turbo Lab journal bearings and stuff, and just kind of compare all those little bits and pieces to one another, because I'm all about trying to bring you guys the best parts. If I come across them, or I come across a kit that it seems better than another one and works well for me, obviously I want to share that with you so that you know about it, in case you ever need those parts down the line, or you're looking to do something similar to what I'm doing here on the channel. So I'm all about sharing that stuff with you guys so that you guys have that knowledge and you know too, and you can make the best informed decision for yourselves. That is going to do it for this video though, just a little short one showing you the rebuild kit that we got today and updating you as far as when I'm gonna be able to hopefully get to rebuilding the HX35 Turbo again. Wow. Two turbo rebuilds here within a couple weeks. Not bad. Good job, Josh. Good job, buddy. We'll get it taken care of. Hopefully we can enjoy this rebuild a little bit longer, do some more stuff with it, see what it's capable of handling, dump that HY35, get rid of it, and bring in something maybe a little bit different here in the coming weeks. As always though, hit that like button on your way out. If you're stopping into the channel for the first time, hit that subscribe button, join the family. You'll either get a good laugh when I say stupid stuff and make a clown of myself, or you'll get some knowledge from someone in the comment section, or the videos that I put out. One way or another, you will learn something here and get a laugh. So you can count on those two things. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. I just wanna